Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. System Era dropped update 1.15 for Astroneer yesterday, so let's take a look at what's new, what's changed, and talk about first impressions. This update is one that I've been looking forward to for quite some time. No, it doesn't really add new items. Instead, it was all about upgrades, performance enhancements, and bug fixes. Granted, there is a small bit of new content available, and we'll talk about that. But let's talk about the other stuff first. Under the hood, Astroneer is now running on a newer version of the Unreal Engine, which should give better overall performance, result in smaller package sizes for consoles, and have a lower impact on memory usage. But that is all under the hood and kinda difficult to show off in a video, so let's move on to some things that you can see. Platforms no longer automatically lock when you connect them to a power cable, nor do they unlock when you disconnect the cables. Instead, platforms now have an interaction option in their tooltip that allows you to lock and unlock them. You can only lock platforms that are anchored to terrain, and if you remove the terrain under them, they become unlocked. This means that you can move and adjust platforms without having to unplug everything first. But I'm not quite sure what it means for everyone who was using floating platforms. Personally, I've never used them, so I didn't try it out, but I would love to hear from someone in the comments on this one. The terrain tool had a couple of fixes as well, mainly in relation to the backpack. The terrain tool will no longer be equipped when you close your backpack if you didn't have it equipped when you opened your backpack. If you did have it equipped and you closed the backpack using the left mouse button or your right trigger, the terrain tool will wait until you release the button or trigger and press them again before it starts deforming terrain. This means you can now safely close your backpack without worrying about accidental terrain deformation. Placing items into slots and attaching cables feels better now, as the game automatically will select the nearest slot. This makes it a lot easier to target your items, and in some cases, doesn't even require line of sight. On the downside, I noticed that hot swapping items was practically impossible if there were any open slots on a storage. I had to completely fill all slots before I was able to hot swap anything around. Oh, and also in relation to cables, this update also fixed the bug that caused cables to get all twisted up. Personally, I never really minded the cables being twisted, but I know that it annoyed a lot of players, so this should be a very welcome fix. When it comes to customization, the various sections in the customization menu itself can now be collapsed. I really like this change, as it means I don't have to scroll through a huge list of customizations just to get to the section that I want to change. Also, that same little gold star notification icon for new items in the customization menu will also appear on the EXO Outfitters icon and in the store's categories when new items have been added. I had already looked through the store before recording this video, so the icons were gone, but they were there when I first launched the game after the update. There were several other bug fixes listed in the patch notes, so be sure to head over to the Astroneer subreddit if you want the full details. As far as actual new items, those are limited to EXO Outfitters. There is the new Partner Pack that comes with 2 hats, a mask, and a new emote, plus some new sports-related emotes, hats, masks, and visors, and there's a new very yellow palette. Now look, I know a small number of people will be quick to complain that System Era has sold out and is only bringing new content if you pay for it. And, well, that just is not true. This update has always been planned as a bug bash and performance enhancement update. So it isn't as if work on anything else was stopped just to bring new stuff to EXO Outfitters. Joe has already leaked images of new content coming to the game soon. So for those of you who want to jump on the sellout bandwagon, just get over it already. EXO Outfitters is not in any way keeping System Era from bringing new content with free updates. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I have really been looking forward to this update. When Joe hosted a community Q&A on Twitch a couple of months ago, this was the thing I told him that I wanted to see the most. So it should go without saying that I'm happy that it's here. Sure, an update like this can be difficult to build hype around since there isn't a bunch of new shiny toys to play with. But in the long term, this update means that the game will perform better for more people for a lot longer, and that is always a good thing. So my hat's off to System Era for getting this update out and making the game run better than before. But I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts and opinions on this update. And hey, be sure to join me tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/VaingloriousGaming, where I'll be playing on the Vainglorious Astroneer server to put together the base that I took apart last week. And until then, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.